Hello everyone, welcome. It's Thursday Q&A live on the channels of Digital DJ Tips. Let me move that microphone a little bit closer to me, just so my voice is that little bit more intimate. We are here to help you with all your DJing issues, whatever they might be. Gear, music, techniques, playing out, promoting yourself. What are you stuck on? What are the challenges in your DJing right now? Share them with us and we will do our very best to help you break through to the other side. And for those of you that don't know who we are, we're Digital DJ Tips, the biggest online DJ school in the world, the people behind the Digital DJ Tips website that you probably know and love. Also the people behind the 25 DJ courses that we currently sell, including the forthcoming How to DJ Right from DJ Jazzy Jeff, which we're really looking forward to bringing to you in 2022, so keep your eyes open for that. But as you can see, there's an awful lot of DJ training here for you to get stuck into should you wish to buy a course and learn with the best. But all that said, hey, look at that, the site's not loading. I hope that doesn't mean our internet's down. That would be an issue for us. But anyway, looks like we're still, oh, there we go, it loaded in the end. So yeah, if you are interested in learning to DJ, you're in the right place. But this hour is all about answering your questions here and now, whatever you need help with. Now, only two things I'd like you to do. Use the hashtag ask, ASK, hashtag ask, if you want to ask a question, to make sure I see it, because I see all the questions coming in here. Don't ask your question more than once, please. And please use Facebook if possible, though we are on YouTube and Twitch as well. The only reason to ask you to use Facebook is that if we don't get to your question, then they stay underneath the video afterwards and we can get to them, my team and I can get to them afterwards as well. So it just makes it easier for us to help you. So let's get started. A few early hellos. Hi to GM, who says, hi everyone, wishing you all well for the festive season. Yep, it is festive. Indeed, we're getting there, aren't we? What, 9 days to go till Christmas? Hi to Mixmaster G, also in the holiday mood there, and Housemaster J, and Jeremy and Christian. Hi to Steve. Hi to Avatar, who says, I've not been here for a while. Well, welcome. Hello to Martin, to David and Michael and Lee. Hi to You Don't Like My Music. JP Lacey, Merry Christmas to everyone around the globe. Hi to DJ Mark Reflection, hello. DJ William Villanueva too. Retro Robson is joining on YouTube. It was the first one to pop up as opposed to Facebook. Well, there we go. Salvation Drum and Bass, Papa D, all our regulars. Hi DJ Soupbone. So Christian just entered the global census of Digital DJ Tips. Let me tell you about this one if you don't know about it. Go to the Digital DJ Tips website and scroll down to this big advert in the middle that you see here, this 2022 Global DJ Census. Just click on it and it will take you to a survey. Now this survey is really important because it helps us to get the temperature of the DJ world. And you know, we get 20, 30, 40,000 people sometimes take this every year. Alongside the census is a prize draw. Now just look at some of the prizes from some of the names here. All the big names in DJing are involved. Denon, Pioneer, Roland, Serato, Allen and Heath, Tractor, Virtual DJ, Reloop, Newmark, Evermix, III, Hercules, Phase, IK Multimedia, Mixed in Key, Algorithm, Beatport, UDG, DJ City, Glorious and Beat Source are our prize givers this year. And the grand first prize is nearly $6,000 worth of Denon DJ Pro gear. The second prize, money can't buy you this at the moment, is a Pioneer DJ XDJ RX3. Why? Because they're not in the shops. They're sold out till probably January, February, apparently. Third prize is a great Allen and Heath mixer and controller, and it carries on with mixer from Reloop, Pioneer Battle mixers, Roland controllers, and so on and so on. So look, not only will you be helping us to take the temperature of the DJ world and getting your views out there, because the companies do follow what you say in this census. Not only will you be doing all that, but you'll be entering yourself into a draw, $40,000 prize draw, where you could win any of those prizes, which is got to be worth 10 minutes of your time to fill in the survey. So do go and have a look at that, which is exactly what Christian did. Hoping I might win a controller, said Christian. Hello to Chris in Vienna. Hello to Soul Dust Sounds in India. And Techno Beats in the Philippines. Yeah, we know about the storm going through the Philippines, but glad you're here. And you've taken the census as well. Cool. Right, so people, this is all about you and your questions. So the first question is from Philip, who says, I just got some mini rig speakers and a subwoofer, and I saw you using them. I was very impressed. Great with my Denon Go. Actually, that wasn't a question. But for those of you that don't know this kind of speaker, here they are. Just got them off the shelf here. These are the mini rig speakers. They're really, really cool. They're a boutique British made speaker, and they are metal. I mean, I don't have any shares in the company. I don't get any money if you go and buy these. I just love them. We use them ourselves. They're just a really nice speaker. And the subwoofer, what a great idea. You plug this in and you've got an immediate subwoofer for those times when you need a bit of extra bass. Let's face it, who doesn't need a bit of extra bass? A really nice speaker. I think they were on a holiday sale. I don't think they are anymore. But anyway, you can get those on Amazon. So glad you're enjoying those, Philip. You Don't Like My Music started using Lander for mastering. On my recommendation, and you say I love it. So Lander is an interesting place. It's a website that's got a lot more than mastering on it, but mastering is the way it made its name, really. Mastering is a process where when you finish producing a song, you upload it, in this instance, to the website, and they run what's called a mastering chain of things which are typically EQ, compression, limiters, and so on. And basically, you can dial in the kind of compression you want and the kind of music you're making, and it just makes it sound loud and poppy and punchy. It's something that engineers specialize in the pro music world, but hey, we can't afford to pay a mastering engineer to tidy up our music that we've made at home, right? So this is where Lander comes in. It's like $5 a go or something to get your tune professionally mastered with their online algorithms. So that's what Lander is, and it's worth having a go. If you're producing music, you made a song you're particularly proud of, upload it. It will definitely improve the sound of it, and that is exactly what You Don't Like My Music has been doing. So glad to hear that. So here's a question from DJ Pac-Man. I need to get new power extension cables for my speakers, QSC K12.2s. Which ones do you recommend? As long as they the ampage is correct, as long as they can handle the current, which if you get a decent one, they will. It doesn't really matter. The important thing is to get something that's going to last and that's rugged and that's not the cheapest in the shop kind of thing. But what I would say, the one thing to remember with power cables, especially for speakers and amplifiers, is that make sure you uncoil them. If you buy a power cable that comes in a, like that plastic container that you can roll it all in, don't unroll it half, a foot or 2 feet, plug it in just because the power socket happens to be near to your speakers. Don't just unroll it a bit and then plug it in, because what you'll find is that it can create like an electrical current, I don't know the correct word, but an electrical induction magnetic heat thing with all the wire that's coiled around and that's not uncurled, and that can trip it out. It can blow the fuse or it can trip out the trip, which means your music goes off. Something I discovered the hard way many years ago. So always uncoil all your power cables, even if you don't need to uncoil them, would be my recommendation there. Retro Robson, any best cheap webcam with a clamp for streaming? Yeah, the best cheap webcams, we've probably got one down here in my drawer, and if I haven't got one in my drawer, I'll show you a picture of one. Just having a look now. No, they don't seem to be in my drawer. Maybe they're on the shelf behind me. No, they're not obvious where the webcams are. I'll show you a picture of one anyway. They're from Logitech, and they're for what you get, they're really good value. So the one I would go for would be the C922 from Logitech. It looks like this, and this is a good all-round webcam. It can clip onto the top of your, let's just get a picture of that open here. It can clip onto the top of your computer, which is great, but also it comes with, down the bottom here, there's a screw hole. So you can screw on any tripod, any tripod at all, a tabletop one, a big one, they all have the same attachment at the top. So these Logitech cameras are great for that. They get the option to screw them onto any tripod. And you buy a tripod for $10. So that's what I would do. We've got them everywhere. They're in all our studios knocking around to be pushed into service when we need a camera quickly and we can't be bothered setting anything else up. So the Logitech C922 would be my starting point. If you've got a bit more money, they've got another one. I think it's called the Stream Cam. I'm trying to remember. We've got a few of these as well. Yeah, it is. It's called the Stream Cam. I'll show you the Logitech Stream Cam. This is it's got a better picture quality and it's better built. It's just a better camera overall. It's a lot newer, but in all honesty, you don't need this. You'll be all right with the one I just showed you. But this is a Logitech StreamCam, and these are very good. We like these. They've got a way of rotating them so they can be in portrait mode should you be trying to do TikTok or Instagram stuff. Not that you would if you were DJ streaming, but there you go. So yeah, as you can tell, Logitech seems to be the name in the webcam area. They're certainly the ones that we always see people talking about. Right, next live question. I hope that was useful to you, Retro Robson. Hello to Jacked Kerouac and 808. Hello to you and Christian, who says hello, everyone. Hello to Benedict. It's been fun chatting to you, Benedict, especially on last night's student webinar. So thank you for taking part in that. Daniel says, Mix software can't get my mic to work with Live 365 to do my mix show. You shouldn't be, right, so this is what Daniel has is a piece of DJ software called Mix, which is an open source, free piece of DJ software. It's one that we maybe don't give quite enough love to be honest. This is Mix. It is worth having a look if you just want another piece of DJ software to play with. It's free and it's open source and it's pretty cool. But you're having problems with it. This is what it looks like, by the way. Looks pretty good, right? And it is. It's good software. The question is, you can't get your microphone to work with Mix software. What's going wrong? Well, the first point is you shouldn't be plugging in. I know Mix software can plug microphones in and stuff, but there's no need to do that. If you're using, say, Live 365 software, like you said, if you're DJing just with the computer, then you should just use the whatever. If Live 365 is taking the audio straight from Mix, then yes, you do have to plug in the microphone through Mix, but maybe it can have more than one input. So really, this is something that's hard to answer without knowing your exact setup. So I'm going to defer to anyone who can kind of give a longer answer here to Daniel. Daniel is on Facebook, so you can answer him down there. Mix should be able to take your microphone in, but you might need to get some kind of routing going on in your computer without knowing exactly what you're using. I could spend hours chatting to you about it, Daniel. So hopefully someone can help you in the comments. That's what they're there for. And you're on Facebook, which is good because that means the conversation can carry on down there. Jamie's finished work early for a change, so you're watching live for the first time in ages. That's really cool. Jamie, good to have you here live. Hi to Philip and to DJ Dorian, DJ 4X Lit. Can virtual DJ still work on a Chromebook, says Alex? It never could, and I don't think it can, because anything that works on a Chromebook has to work in a browser. So you need browser DJ software. Luckily, browser DJ software does exist, and here is an example of it from Beatport. If you go to dj.beatport.com/home, that URL at the top, basically. If you go to there, you will find this piece of DJ software, and this works like any DJ software. You can drag tracks in, you can play them, you can mix them, you can even use it with certain hardware, and it will work on a Chromebook. So if you're a Chromebook user and you think there's no DJ software you can use, think again. This works all in your Chrome browser. So go take a look at that, dj.beatport.com. But no, you can't get virtual DJ to work there. Soul Dust Solution says, how different is it playing in a bar from a club? Soul Dust Sounds, my mistake. My first gig in a bar will be in January. Wish me good luck. So there's a few things here. Firstly, everyone doesn't arrive, have fun, and leave at the same time in a bar. They come and go at different times. So you need to make sure that you're playing music that kind of starts again every 20, 30, 40 minutes. Because if you play a warm-up set, then a peak time set, then an end of night set, then people aren't going to hear all your styles of music in the time they're there having a drink or two. So whatever you want to play it in a cycle, every half hour, every 45 minutes. Go back to the beginning and do different tunes, of course, but the same kind of music again. And also, you're not going to be playing bangers in your typical bar, because in your typical bar, people aren't dancing. The volume is going to be lower. Your chance there is to play a wider variety of music, but you have to understand that you can't play the high energy music at high volume. So just be aware of that. So cycle the music, play a bit quieter, play a broader selection, and don't worry too much about mixing in bars, because again, people aren't listening too hard. They're not dancing. The volume's not so high. It's got good points and bad points. It can be a bit boring, to be honest, but also you get a chance to play those tunes you'd never dare to play in a club. So I wish you the very best of luck, Soul Dust Sounds. Martin, I asked in Student Hub, But my Newmark Scratch I used for my first gig, my cue mix part only played the main output rather than the cue song. I had the button push, but still only the master. I've done this before and it worked, but this time it didn't. So your Newmark Scratch, I don't know the answer to that, Martin, without asking you a few more questions. If anyone does, Martin's on Facebook, so please dive in there and help. It sounds like an issue with the way your sound outputs were set up, Martin, but the Newmark Scratch is a mixer, and so it depends how you have that mixer set up with your system. And without knowing any more from you, I can't help with that, I'm afraid, on a live call. But do tag me in Student Hub and I'll try and give you a longer answer to that. Student Hub is our student Facebook group, by the way, people. So if you're a student of Digital DJ Tips, you won't need any introduction to Student Hub at all. But if you're not a student of Digital DJ Tips, then you ought to be, because as soon as you join Digital DJ Tips, as soon as you buy any course that we make, you will be invited into our Student Hub group. And Student Hub is a place where we've got active at any one time, probably about 6,000 students. So, you join some courses and you join some online DJ places and they say, hey, come on, it's all about community. But it's not. You get in there and it's just you and them. But Student Hub is a genuinely buzzing, busy, fun community for all of our students. And it is the place where Martin asked that question, and where Martin will be getting help with his question as soon as I get a chance to get over there and help him. You get to talk to all our students, but you also get to, you would be a student to be in there, but you also get to hang out with the tutors as well. This is our Student Hub group, and it's a great place to hang out, have fun, and chat among yourselves and with the team. So just one of the benefits of being a member of Digital DJ Tips is that you get to hang out with us in the Student Hub private Facebook group that no one else gets to get into who is not a Digital DJ Tips student. The next live question is from Steve. Can I plug a mini rig direct into my DDJ 800 to use it as a baby booth monitor? Yes, you can. Jacked Kerouac is looking for the RX3 second prize, so good luck with that. Jermaine says, good morning, Phil. I use the Ferdinand key mixing strip. This is a great way of mixing advanced in-key harmonic mixing stuff. It's actually talked about in our brand new key mixing article on Digital DJ Tips. So if you haven't been to Digital DJ Tips in the last couple of days, head over there and look at the ultimate guide to key mixing for DJs. If you've ever wanted to key mix, or you've tried and you're not sure you're doing it right, or you just want some extra help so you can have more fun with key mixing, do come and take a look at this article where we go into a lot of depth with examples and videos and downloadable sheets that'll help you from beginning to end how key mixing is done. So do come and take a look at this article if it's always intrigued you and you've never done it before, because this hasn't been done before on Digital DJ Tips. There indeed in front of you now is the Ferdinand key strip, and this is a great way of jumping around the keys in DJ software, which is one of many things we talk about and share with you in this article. It's a big one, so settle down, get yourself some time to have a look at it and enjoy that article. It's live on Digital DJ Tips right now, and I'm glad you enjoyed that, Jermaine. Hello to Daniel, who's over there in Indianapolis. Got that right, I think. Alan, on Virtual DJ, how do you use split queue correctly to preview the next song? You just have to go into the settings and set split queue or mono queuing. You have to do it in the output settings, Alan, and that should work. But I don't think it will if your controller won't do it. So with Virtual DJ, you can definitely do that in the software, but I think the controller... No, you should be able to do it with any controller, but then you'd have to control it inside the software because there wouldn't be an on-off switch for it in the controller. Although you could map a key on the keyboard to switch the split queue on and off. Look into those things. The Virtual DJ forum is a great place to discuss this stuff, by the way. Virtual DJ on its website has got a really busy forum, and there might be someone who can help you there depending on the gear that you've got. That can help you specifically for your gear. This is from Reza. So far, says Reza, for private gigs, I've been pretty much playing the whole songs. Cleveland Terry is against that. Love you, Cleveland Terry. I wanted your take on this. It totally depends on the gig. frankly. Do you play the whole song, or do you just play the first verse and chorus and get out of there? If you're playing the warm-up to a club that's got 5 people in it, playing that kind of quick mixing style, really, is it really worth it? Just play the whole song. If you're at the peak of the night, then you should be really building up the energy, and the way you can do that is by playing shorter parts of songs. Some songs are brand new and people absolutely love them and they want to hear the whole song. Other songs are old. Someone's requested it, someone wants to hear it, but not many people. So the whole song will bore the hell out of them. Most songs nowadays tend to repeat, right? A lot of dance music, it tends to repeat. It's got a build up or a verse, it's got a breakdown or a chorus, it's got a drop, and then it does the same thing again. In those instances, it can be much more fluid to mix out halfway through, but it really depends on the music style. If you try mixing songs out halfway through and you're playing a Latin focused gig, especially if there's one with formal dancing, God help you, because people want to hear the whole song. If you're playing at a mobile event, people want to hear the whole song a lot of the time. So just bear in mind that you don't have to play the whole song, but equally you don't have to cut the songs short. It depends on the gig, it depends on the music, it depends on the age group and the expectation. So I'd say Cleveland Terry is against that. You are obviously for that. There's no right and wrong there. It's all down to context. Apparently mini rigs are in your list of Christmas presents for DJs, digital DJ tips. We've already got them. But yes, I would certainly say adding that to... Oh, you mean it's in the list of things that we publish? I can't remember if we put them in the list, to be honest. On the Digital DJ Tips site, there is a article called... trying to find it now. Seems to have disappeared. Maybe it's so long since we published it that it's dropped off. There's been an awful lot going on recently. It should be there. I'm looking now. No, I can't see it. Where's that gone? Let me go and find this for you. Let me go to the latest articles. I think it's in the news section. There we go. 23 last minute gift ideas for DJs. This is worth going and having a look at, by the way, or leaving open on your desk, at home, if you want a loved one to buy you something. Lots and lots of ideas for things that can be bought for you by your other half or by your partner or your friends. Yeah, there they are, the mini rigs. But also lots of things you could treat yourself to that we've assembled. This is all the stuff that my team and our DJs recommended for you. So we've assembled them all together here in one post. Go take a look at that. Ivan says, what are your personal thoughts for DJ trends in 2022? New tech, new events, new streaming. I think we're not going to see the end of live streaming because I don't think we're going to see the end of COVID for many years to come. I think we're not going to see the end of music streaming, as in music coming into your DJ gear. I think that's going to come of age. And as 5G and as the music streaming services for DJs mature, as those things kick in, it's going to become normal to be streaming music. Pioneer DJ has just announced what it calls Cloud Play Direct, I think, which is you being able to stream your own music into DJ gear. And that means that you don't have to have your music on a USB when you turn up at a venue. It's your music, but it's in the cloud. And I just think that's going to become more and more common. So those two things I think are pretty much dead certs. Gear-wise, I think we'll see Pioneer DJ catching up with Denon DJ on the standalone stuff. I think they've got to. I'll be interested to see what new stuff's coming for Serato, because we haven't seen any new gear for Serato recently, and they'll definitely, I'd imagine, be working on stuff. So Serato users, keep your ears open. Tractor hardware. We're expecting some new Tractor hardware. Yep. So that should be fun. Do expect lots and lots of gear releases around the middle of January. It's when the NAMM show normally happens, just after CES in Vegas. The NAMM show normally happens in Los Angeles. It's not happening this year, which means I don't have to fly over there, which is good because my birthday is around that time and I've often spent my birthday over there. But do look out for gear releases around that time because that's when the gear releases tend to happen. So keep an eye open for those. But yeah, it will be an interesting January, I think. I think we will be having some more gear launched around that time. So keep your fingers on the refresh button on Digital DJ Tips around the 17th, 18th of January. DJ Dorian's question. You show up to play at a venue that's played already some music before you arrived, radio and so on. Should you start your set with an energy level similar to what was played before, or start from lower? You should look out into the crowd and decide what the crowd wants. You know, if they've got the radio on, then whoever's playing the music on the radio has got no idea what's going on in that venue. So the music that's playing on the radio could be too high or could be too low energy. So really it's about the energy in the room. So do keep an eye on the energy in the room. You know, if the place is empty, then you want to start at a low energy level. If the people are starting to dance, you can start a bit higher. So I'd say disregard what was played before and play what you think is right for that time would be my recommendation there. So DJ Art RGV, just making a quick note because I got a message on my watch then from my wife. She wants me to do something, and if I don't put a post-it on the door, I'll forget. And we all know you don't want to forget to bring things home from work that the family needs, do you? Because someone might be a bit upset. Probably one of the kids. Right, anyway, back to this. This is from DJ RRGV. I'm on the fence about using an external mixer between my Pioneer 1000 SRT and the speakers. I've heard both pros and cons. What is your take? Let me grab an external mixer so that we can talk about it while I'm holding one. So this is an external mixer. This is quite a big one, actually. The ones that you'd be looking at probably be a bit smaller than this. The point about having a mixer like this between your DJ gear and the PA system is to give you extra controls. So there's a couple of things you can do if you have an extra mixer. You plug your DJ controller into a mixer like this, and then the output from this goes to the PA system in the room, right? You have EQ controls here. So let's say you turn up at a venue that's got a PA system but nothing else. You set your gear up and you haven't got a mixer, right? And you get your gig started and you realise that the PA system has got too much bass. It just sounds boomy. You need to turn that bass down. How are you going to do it? I'll tell you how you do it. You'll turn the bass down on all the channels on your DJ controller. But those aren't really made for you to EQ the room. They're made for you to use them as performance controls, so that you're kind of disabling yourself a little bit that way. What if the bass is too high? It's too low. There's no bass in the room, and you've got to turn your basses on full just to get the bass sounding all right. Well, now you've got nowhere to go with your bass to turn it down, or vice versa. Same with the other controls. You know, some rooms sound very shrill, so you'll end up turning down the mids and the highs. But you really want to be DJing with all your EQs on your mixer, on your controller, at 12 o'clock. So that it's just how you've always DJed, right? If you have an external mixer, you can say, okay, I'm going to EQ the room on here. I'm going to put the EQs at 12 o'clock on my DJ controller, play a song I know, and I know how it should sound, plug through one of these, and then plug into the PA. And then I'm going to use the low, mid, and high controls on here to adjust the room so it sounds nice. And if the room fills up with people and you need to put back some of that bass you took out because people soak up bass, if that happens, then you can turn it up on here while still keeping the controls at 12 o'clock on your DJ controller. That's one reason. Another reason is to add extra sources that you can't add on your DJ controller. You could have microphones going in here, other DJs going in here so you can switch easily. You could use it for live performers. So if you've got a bongo player or an electric violin player or a saxophonist or even an MC or a singer or whatever, they can be going through here to save having to plug these things into your DJ controller. So a lot of mobile DJs will carry a smaller version of this around with them. You can get some little mixers that have got like 4 input channels and 2 output channels. That's probably all you need. And if you're going to go and buy a little mixer like this, my recommendation is to get one that has a USB on the back as well. Then it'll double up as an audio interface, which means if you want to do live streaming by feeding your DJ gear into your laptop, you can do that from it as well. So little live mixers, what would I recommend? There's a really good one from, what's the brand? Just trying to remember the brand of the one we've got in the other studio. And I want to show you a picture of it. This is the one that I would recommend if you're just going to go out and buy a little mixer to have in your bag. It's almost like a Swiss Army knife, these tiny mixers. Have one in your bag that you can always have with you. And you'll be amazed when you end up using them. There's lots and lots of times when you're just going to be glad that you've got a little mixer in your bag. So it's by Xenix, which is a Behringer brand. So I'm just going to try and get you a picture of it. It's just one of many. It's one that we see people using a lot. Here it is. This is the one that we've got in our other studio. Just trying to get the picture up for you. Here you go. So this is actually a 5-input mixer with 2 outputs. So the idea here is that you'll plug your DJ gear into like the left and right here. And then you've got your EQs. This has actually got a 2-band EQ, but that's fine. Actually, no, I'd go for one that's a bit bigger than this. I think we've got the 802, and that's got a stereo input with EQ. This EQ is only for the mic input. You want a stereo input that you can re-EQ. And then the output is here, but it's not much bigger than this. I think it's called the 802, the one we've got. And it costs you like $60 online. They're not expensive, these little things. So I would get one. DJR RGB, but for me it's mainly about the EQ. If you've just joined us, we are live here on Digital DJ Tips. We are answering all your questions as we do every Thursday at this time about DJing, whatever it is, gear, music, techniques, playing out, promoting yourself. Ask your questions on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We'll get to you. Hashtag ask please, which means that we're more likely to get to your question. And if you love what you see here and you want to get closer to us, especially if you want a free copy of our book, just go to this URL. Could do it afterwards. digitaldjtips.com/join. We'll give you a free copy of our best-selling book and our gear guide. So there's lots of reasons for joining Digital DJ Tips. The main reason is you'll get our weekly newsletter, which is the best way to improve your DJing and DJ production, because it's full of free tutorials, mixes by our DJs like James Hype and Jazzy Jeff and DJ Angelo and Layback Luke, and also free equipment reviews, news. It's all in that newsletter. So join up and get all that good stuff. So let's carry on with the questions. This one is from Midnight Wolf. Any tips for vlogging your DJ gigs? I'm trying to use it for promo stuff, but I feel like I didn't get all I should have at the wedding I gigged in on Saturday. I think it's probably a better idea is to record the gig and use the footage on your website. You know, record the gig and get the best parts of it as a show reel on your website, including little interviews with, you know, the happy couple or the person who booked you. That probably works better, because unless you're really serious about vlogging, building a YouTube audience, you're not gonna no one's going to watch it. So the best place to put this stuff is on your website to promote what you do, I would say. You know, the people who vlog, like I'm trying to think of people who vlog, DJ Bar and Nick over in the USA and stuff. These people vlog every week to build their audiences. And unless you're committed, you're not going to do that. So I would say film your stuff, but then take some time to edit it into a bit of a show reel. Lee says, I use Tractor, Serato, and recently Rekordbox. In Rekordbox, most of the time, about 80% they get the beat grid wrong. Is there a setting or something I'm missing? Thank you. In Rekordbox, there is a setting that will let you choose the range of gridding that happens. In other words, what is the lowest and the highest BPM on the track that you're analysing? Because this is really important. You are a drum and bass DJ, right? There's no way any of your tracks are going to be below 160 BPM. So you don't want it analysing and just guessing some of them are 80 BPM. They should be 160. And this will fix that for you. Let's have a little look together at Rekordbox, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to switch over to the browser now, but now I'm going to switch to Rekordbox to show you. That's preview. Let's go to Rekordbox instead. Here we go. This is Rekordbox. Right. So let's say I want to analyze this song here on Rekordbox. I'll go to Analyze Track. And in the middle, you get this thing here, BPM grid. Now you get this BPM range drop down. And mine's set to 48.95. So it will only give me beat grids within that range. So this would be good for chill out music, not very good for higher music. 70 to 180 will basically give you everything. And that's why that's at the top. For most purposes, that's going to catch the lot, from chill out hip hop to drum and bass. There's even wider ones, look, down the bottom here. But I'd say 7180 is about right. So maybe you've got this set wrong. If your music is all house music, you might want to set it a little bit different. You might want to set it to one that starts a bit higher. So this one, for instance, or this one. But have an experiment with these, and you might find that it gets it a lot better if you just set that correctly. Other than that, can't think of any other reason why it would be doing it wrong. So I'd go and take a look at that, Lee. This is for this is a question. Let me just go back to my hashtag ask this, because there's too many questions coming now for me to do it any other way. This one is from Zera. Should I be using auto gain? If so, what decibel setting should I use? Use the recommended setting. -6 is the highest you should go to. And yes, you should be using auto gain, unless you don't want to. Auto gain is the thing that sets the gain controls at the top of your mixer in the controller automatically, so you don't have to set them. In other words, it will say, how loud's this track? Is it quiet or loud? It's quite quiet, I'll play this one a bit louder. Or this is a banger and it's a really loud recording, I'll play it quieter. So it means that your tracks load into your DJ gear at roughly the same volume. But if you don't agree with what it does, you can always use the manual gain or trim or level controls, which are the ones above the low, mid and high controls on your mixer, to fix it. So I always leave auto gain turned on. There's nothing to lose by having it turned on. This is from Technical73. I have Serato Video, which is the video plugin for Serato DJ software, but it seems sketchy. I've recently tried Virtual DJ and I was impressed with it. It just works. Do you know Serato is actually going to sort or update video at any time? I don't. I would guess it's not a massive priority for them, is my honest answer. If you like Virtual DJ's video stuff, I'd say go for it, because you know, at the end of the day, all software has different strengths and weaknesses, and yeah, video is something that Serato has, but I can't remember the last time they told us about anything they'd done to kind of like improve it, other than releasing those really cool Serato packs for live streamers that kind of like immediately put you into a different place via green screen and stuff. But actual changes to the video plugin, I can't think of the last time they changed it, so I wouldn't expect them to change it anytime soon. This is from Alan. I began mixing on CDJ 1000 Mark IIIs. I can monitor or mix incoming tracks, but when in the mix, any tips on how to monitor both tracks? Tracks I play change tempo. Well, there's two things you can do. You can turn the Q master knob for your headphones to master. Now you're going to be hearing both tracks because they're both in the mix. Or you can just press both Q buttons at once. I'm pretty sure on Pioneer gear that works. You can have more than one Q going at once. Just press both Qs at once. I imagine you've tried that though. But that's what I'd try, Alan. Let's know how you get on. David, is a Pioneer CDJ 850 better than a Reloop RMP4? I've saved up for a pair of players, but I don't know which one to get. I can't answer that question. It's so long since I've looked at either of those, David. But maybe someone can help you. David's over there on YouTube. David, if you were on Facebook, we could definitely help you, because the team would chip in on the replies. So guys and girls, Facebook is the best place to be for these Q&As, but we'll try and get to you there in the chat in YouTube as well. So come on, anyone who might own one or other of those, a CDJ 850 or a Reloop RMP4, which is the better one, go help David out in the chat comments on Facebook, please. This is from Chris. I just realised you've added another section to the James Hype course. Indeed we have, Chris. Those of you that don't know about the James Hype course, James Hype, of course, is one of the biggest up-and-coming DJs in the world right now. He's busy touring America at the moment, I think. He has a really distinctive and impressive DJ style, to put it mildly. And we've got a course that we made with James, which you can find over on the Digital DJ Tips courses page. Where else? And yes, we relaunched this course at the beginning of autumn, beginning of the fall, and we added to it some extra sections because James has been busy and he's been doing more stuff, so we wanted to reflect that in the course. So there have been some new sections added for 2021, including a couple of breakdowns of stuff which has had, I think, 5 million views on TikTok. He really is a sensation on social media, is James. So have a look at that course if you want to learn how James does it. It's a very popular one. So DJ Schooly, hi Phil. My question is, what would you recommend as the best sources for DJs to create posts and flyers for events? So the place I always recommend you head to is Fiverr.com. fiverr.com. So if you typed flyer design into fiverr.com, you would find loads and loads of people who just for a few, and they're going to ask me to log in now, just for a few dollars will design posters for you. And as you can see here, there's a lot of choice. Find someone whose work looks good, and it's a very simple process to commission someone to design for you on fiverr.com. You don't pay until you're happy. We've used these people for all kinds of stuff over the years. So fiverr.com. Not only that, but for mixtape covers and website design and anything, logos are a big one. It's a great place to get that stuff. Is it pointless, says Jack, to try to make decent money off my original song downloads on SoundCloud and Mixcloud? Yes, it is. You will not make a large amount of money by what you make from those services. And that is the truth. You need to have a big name for yourself away from such services before you try and make money on them, if you know what I mean. You know, it's the DJs who've got big real world followings who make money on these services. You can't build a name for yourself on them, basically, is what I'm saying. Driver John says, what time do these live streams start? Are they at 1500 UK time? Indeed they are. They're always at 1500 hours UK, 10 a.m. in New York in Eastern time. That's when we do them nowadays. So that's the time to tune in. Ivan, I've just started using Starlink satellite for internet. Over 200 megabits a second download and 20 upload. It's totally awesome. I will use it for streaming. It's pricey, but it's totally awesome wherever you are globally. Yeah, it is pricey. I agree. We've looked into satellite internet in the past. I'm glad you're having fun with it, Ivan. What you do have is big ping times, because it's a long way to the satellite. So if you ping the satellite, ping basically means how long it takes for something you send up to come down again. But that shouldn't make too much difference for live streaming. But that is kind of one of the downsides of using satellite. This is from Stevie D. I saw Cleveland Terry on YouTube. Made me think how I DJ. Am I right to let the music play for 3 or 4 minutes for all things house? And CDJs can prepare hot cues beforehand. He's really made quite a splash, hasn't he, my friend Cleveland Terry on YouTube, saying you must short mix. Of course you mustn't short mix. It's just one way of DJing. Cleveland Terry is a guy in a certain town, in a certain place in the USA, playing a certain kind of music for a certain kind of audience, and maybe it makes sense for him to always short mix all his stuff. It doesn't mean you've got to do it. The one thing we've learned in 11 years in this game is DJing is a broad church, and in that broad church there are countless ways of doing things, and those countless ways mean that anyone who says you must do it this way, you must do it that way, is going to find 1,000 people queuing up and saying, but what about me? What about me? So, you know, don't let anyone tell you there's an absolute right and wrong way of doing things. You do what's right for your crowds and your audience. William says, I'm wondering, a while back you mentioned a laptop called the XMG 15. And if you do, can it be shipped to the USA? This is the XMG 15 laptop. It is a laptop designed for DJing on software. Virtual DJ, Serato, Traktor, Rekordbox. It's just configured that way. It's got all the right stuff taken off it that you don't need. It's got the right components for really snappy sound that's got very low latency. Apart from that, it's a bog standard laptop. It's a cheap plastic thing. It's got very, very mediocre resolution. It's been stripped back in all the areas that you don't need for DJing, but it's the best in the business for the ones that you do. And the question is, can you get it in the USA? So when I was last speaking to XMG, it's made by a German company called Schenker Technologies. When I was last speaking to them, they were trying to get USA distribution sorted out, but I'm not sure if they did that. So the best thing you can do is drop a email to XMG. Just go to xmg.gg. xmg.gg and send a quick email to their support department, because you will get an actual person respond to you very quickly with info about how to get this stuff in the USA if it is currently possible. I know that because Ray, who builds these machines and specs these machines, is a personal friend of mine, and he's the person that if you say, hey, I'm a DJ interested in an XMG laptop, can you help me? He's the exact person who will be responding to you. So go and have a look. But they are good laptops if you want to DJ with Windows for sure. Hashtag ask if you'd like to ask a question, people. And we've got about another 10 minutes here. I'm going to try and get the whole hour squeezed in. Chris asked a question where the answer is the same as earlier. Chris says, what is the best way to create a DJ logo? Is there a dedicated website, as I can't use Photoshop? Again, use fiverr.com. One truth here, I mean, you can use websites, but I think we use Canva. My team, when they're doing social media posts, uses a website called Canva, which looks like this. Canva is a great website for designing your own stuff. As you can see, you can design all kinds of things on Canva. But for me, if you're not a designer, you shouldn't be in the business of design. It's all right for knocking out a few little Instagram graphics and stuff, but a DJ logo is going to stick with you for your whole DJ career, hopefully. Why not pay someone to do that for you? Because on Fiverr, Fiverr.com, you're not paying very much for these people to help you. And it's worth it, I think, to get something really good. The Ruckus. The clubs I play at, we play to an older crowd and they prefer hearing the entire song. And as the night progresses, we shorten the songs as the crowd gets younger. So there you go. There's one example of it being not always the case that you should play just a little bit of a song. There is kind of like a curve that I always like to show people about energy level versus length of time. So I'm going to draw you this now. This is high-tech stuff, this, people. So look at this little thing here. You see what we have at the bottom here is energy level, right? And here we have the length of time you play a song for. The more energy, the less time you play a song for. So in other words, if you want high energy in the room, play shorter times. If you want the room to have a nice low bubbling energy, play your songs for longer periods. So always bear that in mind, because it depends on the time of night, the number of people that are in the venue and so on. It's not as simple as saying you must always play your songs only for a minute and a half or whatever. It's nothing in DJing or in any creative pursuit is as simple as having hard and fast rules like that. Hashtag ASK, hashtag ask if you'd like to ask a question, people. And I will try and get to as many as I can in the last 10 minutes that we've got here. Ronald says, what do you think of this site, vocalremover.com? It's just one of many, many sites, which, let's go and have a look at it together, which will take away elements of your song for you. This is vocalremover.com. Almost certainly, this is based on a free little app that was released to developers by Deezer. You know Deezer, the company that are a bit like Spotify and Apple Music. They're French. And they released this piece of software that will allow any developer to stick a website up which can do this. It can take a song and give you the instrumental and the vocals and so on. There are loads of websites like this. In fact, if you were to Google where to find Acapellas 2021, you'd probably find somewhere near the top the Digital DJ Tips article on this. And in that article, we talk about it. There it is, where to get acapellas of songs for DJing. And in this article, we give recommendations of these places, and some of them are sites that will do it for you. So down the bottom here, making your own acapellas using DJ software or using software that you can get online. Lalal.ai. Lalal.ai is one of the ones we really, really liked. So you could go and have a look at that. And the one you just showed me is just the same kind of thing. But this is the one we like. Lalal.ai. It's a very, very good one. So they're great. You upload a song, it spits back the instrumental and the vocal to you, which is great. They're not as good as having the real acapella, but pretty damn good. Sean is pointing out that Algorithms DJ Pro lets you do this. Yep, that's in that article as well. Thank you for pointing that out, Sean. And if you are going to do quick mixing, short mixing, as Mixmaster G and Stevie D are discussing, preparation is absolutely key. Indeed it is. You know, you want your cues and loops and grids and playlists all sorted out so that it works fine. Hello you DJ, good to see you down there. Welcome to our little love-in that we have every Thursday here. We're coming towards the end now. This is from Aman. Maybe this question is out of league here, but would you suggest me to purchase a used Traktor S2 Mark II instead of a new Traktor S2 Mark III? The old Traktor S2 Mark II is a better DJ controller than the new Traktor S2 Mark III. Aman. What it won't do, to my knowledge, is work on iOS. So if you want to plug in and use the Tractor DJ app on iOS, you can't. But apart from that, it's a better controller. And if it's a good quality one, I would certainly say consider buying the older one. Yep, I agree with you. You don't like my music is pointing out, if you want to make money from online streaming services, Spotify pays roughly $8 for 1,000 streams. So you would need to get quite a lot of streams in order to make that worth your while for sure. All right, so we are getting towards the end here. Craig says, I'm very late today, but I will watch the catch up. I had a setback from my DJ comeback last night. My vehicle was written off in an accident and I'm currently out of a job. Oh, Craig, was so sorry to hear that. Not great for a DJ who had mobile plans in 2022. Well, hopefully your insurance will cover a new one, right? Get a new one quickly there, Craig. So sorry to hear that, my friend. I know how hard you've worked to get to the point where you can be where you are. So come on, you can get past this one for sure. A few people pointing out that if people like Calvin Harris or Tiesto aren't making an awful lot of money from SoundCloud downloads, there ain't much hope for anyone else. Other people pointing out that Canva lets you make your own logos and flyers and posters and stuff as well. So thank you for pointing that out. We're getting towards the end of today, I think. I think we've covered most of the things people have asked. DJ C-Tie's got a question that everyone's asking at the moment. What's your take on the whole controller shortage right now? Well, we know why the reasons are. It's to do with the pandemic, and there's various things like the import tariffs that have gone up in the USA and the UK over the recent couple of years are starting to bite now, not only on DJ gear, but on food and all other kinds of stuff. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I think it's going to be something we're going to be learning to live with. You can't have what you want when you want the exact second you want it. But this is the new order, I think. Darren's pointing out the Mackie 402. That is the exact one I was trying to think of, or rather one of the ones I was trying to think of. Yeah, the Mackie 402, if you want to buy a tiny little baby mixer, because it is one that we've got in Studio 3 here at Digital DJ Tips. A little one tucked under the desk there doing its job. And Midnight Wolf uses a Yamaha MG12 XU mixer to do the same kind of thing as well. So thank you for that. And a Mackie 802 for William. Hello Christian over there in Romania, and hello to Craft iMac. I'm so glad I tuned in for the extra mixer tip, if nothing else. And Sergio says the little mixer you just showed is absolutely brilliant. I used it many times for small events. It works really well. Lionel says the Yamaha MG06 as well is a good mixer. And another vote there for the Behringer 802. Right. We're done here today, people. Thank you very much for joining us. Remember to enter the Global Digital DJ Census, because it's your only chance, the only place you can win up to $40,000 worth of prizes donated by the very best names in the DJ business. Just go to Digital DJ Tips, click on that big banner, and you could win a 4-deck Denon DJ Pro system, 2 SC6000s, 2 LC6000s, and an X1850 mixer worth $6,000 as a first prize. It's a great first prize, and as you can see, there are 20 other big prizes, as well as loads more. The list was so long, we had to put half of it in the small print. That is how much the DJ industry wants to know what you think about gear, music, gigs, your future, and everything else in this wonderful hobby or career that we're all in. So go and answer that census. It'll take you about 10 minutes and we'll enter you in the prize draw, just to say thank you for joining. And talking of joining, if you're not a member of Digital DJ Tips, do this straight afterwards. We give you a free copy of our book, and we also give you a gear guide so you don't make expensive mistakes when you're buying gear, if you can find it. That is. But more importantly, we send you our weekly Tuesday Tips email, which is the best place to improve your DJing, because it's got features and news and reviews and free tutorials and inspirational mixes from all our tutors, including Jazzy Jeff, Laidback Luke, DJ Angelo, and many, many more. So do come and sign up if you're not a member. digitaldjtips.com/join. I'm out here for now, so get good, get out there, make the moments. I will see you on Tuesday for the last Tuesday Tips of the year. So do come and join me there. And then we're taking a little break for a couple of weeks, and we'll be back in the new year. So come and join me next Tuesday for a festive one. I'll try and remember my Christmas hat. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.